Protector Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks. And today, guys, yes, today, boys and girls, we are in the Citadel. Yes, we are in Tiger 1 Citadel. So, what is this thing? Well, Tiger 1 Citadel is a tier 6 version of the Tiger 1. And today, we're gonna see if this tank is really worth it. Would I recommend it? How does it compare to Tiger 131, Tiger 1 Hammer? Because we know that there are multiple number of Tiger tanks to choose from when it comes to premium tanks. So yeah, we're gonna do a quick comparison there. Nothing crazy, just a quick overview with respect to the three of them. Now I do own Tiger 131. I do not own Tiger 1 Hammer. Citadel, just recently I purchased it for my son and we dressed it up nicely. It's not a very expensive tank to buy, and my son plays mostly at lower tiers, so I thought that would fit really well. But when I think about it now, honestly, I would have probably made a different decision, because if you guys know, Tiger 131 is a tank at tier 7, but it has preferential matchmaking, so it does not see tanks at tier 9, although Tiger 1 Hammer does. So that's the main difference. Citadel unfortunately sees tier 8s, which means it's gonna see a very heavy armor that's tough to penetrate. There are a lot of tanks at tier 8 that have really thick armor. So Citadel is really gonna struggle in tier 8 games because of the penetration values. Now, talking about penetration, standard rounds on Citadel are AP rounds at 145 millimeters of penetration, which is not very high, to be honest, especially if you're facing tier 8s that have over 200 millimeters of armor. There's nothing you can do with this tank, and later on I'm going to show you some clips of that. But premium rounds are APCR rounds, and they have 194 millimeters of penetration. So with these rounds you can actually do some damage, but I found myself using APCR rounds a lot. Trust me, a lot. Even in tier 6 and tier 7 games you cannot play this tank without using them. It's just a little bit underpowered when it comes to penetration. So if you compare Tiger 131 and the Hammer, obviously their base penetration is higher. Tiger 131 is at 169, Tiger 1 Hammer is at 203, but that comes with the price. Citadel is listed at 3,900 gold, while Tiger 131 is at 7.7 thousand gold, and Hammer is at 7,000 gold. So there's significant difference there, but I would say buying Tiger 131 is worth it. Now, the engine on this thing is a little bit underpowered. It has only 650 horsepower, while Tiger 1 and Tiger 1 Hammer have a lot higher engine power. Actually, Tiger 131 has the highest at 870 horsepower. Tiger 1 Hammer is a little bit underpowered at 700. The rate of fire on this tank is only 8.57. Again, not as good as Tiger 131 at 10.91 rounds per minute. Aim time is relatively good, the same as on Tiger 131, 2.3 seconds. Accuracy, however, is not. Tiger 131 has 0.36 accuracy, while this tank is at 0.38, and you will see in some of the clips that I showed earlier how this gun behaves when poking around corners. Another thing worth mentioning is that this tank does have the same armor as the other Tiger tanks, so you will not see any deficiency there, and actually you will see benefit of that when playing lower tiers. But I found in my run that I never get top tier games for whatever reason, or not very often. But the ones that I did get, I did try to take advantage of them as much as I could. Anyway, let's jump into the gameplay, and what I'm going to do today, guys, I'm going to show you this game first, which was pretty solid game for this tank. I thought it was my second game. Then we're gonna jump into quick review and some clips as to how this tank performs at tier 8. And then at the end of the video I'm gonna show you another replay, which was maybe not the highest damage, but it was really fantastic teamwork with one of the players on our team. So I really had to show that game at the end, and it came down to the wire. There was some really good decisions made there by my friendly and by myself, and we worked together without even communicating. That was fantastic game. Okay, so what's happening here? As you can see, you only have 3 tanks remaining, 2 heavy tanks and a Craft Panther. And what we find ourselves was we won the city, But these guys here won the field. And this snakebite there is going to be real pain in the ass because he's outspotting basically the entire team, including myself. Now, the crew on Zippy's account here in this tank is not the best, so you know, you cannot get the spots that we need here. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to draw separation here. Oh, you took that shot. That was really, really close. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to face that wall and back out straight, so that we want to make sure we're not spotted here and that we can back into safety if we still want to win this game. So unfortunately we cannot take them in the field, so we're gonna have to take them in the city. But all of a sudden I got spotted again by this Crafts Panther, and yeah, I'm using the wreck in front of me again just to make sure that these guys don't have any shots on me from the field, because you know, I'm at 191 health, so I'm pretty much, well, probably 2 shots to most of these tanks, because Craft Panther doesn't have high alpha. So what we're gonna try to do is get into safety here. But you can see traverse speed of this tank is not the best, but neither it is for any of the Tiger tanks, to be honest. So here we see the Crafts Panther, so we're gonna try to go behind this building. Luckily he's not paying attention to us, so we put 1 shell into him, and hopefully our Craft Panther can take some heat for us. So far we've been doing a good job staying hidden, but unfortunately this Craft is changing attention to us, so we're gonna put 1 more shell into him and we're gonna back out into safety. He goes after us, he wants us really bad, and he takes us out of the game. Let's see if our Craft Panther can take him out of the game, and he does. So all of a sudden is 1v2. Can our Craft Panther pull this off? Honestly, based on what I've seen in this game so far, I don't think he can, unfortunately. But let's wait and see. And that's because the Tank Destroyer is playing an extremely good game. He's using Snakebite's view range, and he's been engaging our tanks from the field. They basically took out all of our heavy tanks that came to the edge of town. So as you can see, this happy turkey is not really a happy turkey. He's already targeted, so in a split second now he's probably gonna get hit, and he does get hit by the Challenger. And unfortunately Snakebite has an awesome crew, so as you can see he's not even spotted, and Challenger will take out the turkey, a happy turkey. So unfortunately this game, or our second game, is a loss, but we managed to do some nice damage in this game. And for whatever reason those mastery badges been really acting up lately. I don't know what is going on. I've been getting class 1s for some not high damage games and class 3s for higher damage games where I was up close and personal here with the opposition tanks, so I'm not sure why mastery class number is so low in this game. Okay, let's just jump in and do a quick review on this tank. As you can see, firepower we're at 28, survivability at 40, mobility at 14, concealment at 18, and spotting at 73. Crew has currently 4 perks and the plus sign flashing. Engine 650 horsepower, gun 857 rounds per minute, penetration 145 on standard rounds, 194 on premium rounds, damage 220 alpha per shell, traverse speed 26 degrees per second, turret armor 100 millimeters in the front, 80 in the side, traverse speed 20, view range 370 meters. And here let's take a look at some of the additional stats for the tank. And also let's take a look quickly at some armor values. And now let's skip into the clips I have for you at tier 8. Can we penetrate tier 8s? How reliable is this tank versus tier 8s? As you can see, I can penetrate T20 no problem. Side of T32 with standard shells, yes. The shell goes in. So now he turns his armor. Now we won't be able to penetrate him. We try bottom plate. We bounce. Let's take a look and see if we can do this again with premium round. Also a bounce. So we already switched to APCR rounds. We're gonna try this again and try to hit his lower plate. Let's see if we can pen. Oops, that looked like it derped, so I don't think this shot actually hit. Let's try it again then. Lower plate, no penetration again. So let's try one more time. Can we hit it? Yes, we can, and no penetration again. So as you can see, yeah, tier 8 heavy tanks forget about penetrating even lower plates. Now, take a look at the Madeline. First shot, derps, unfortunately. Let's see if we can put a second shell into him. Will this go in? Lower plate, no, it bounces. I know he's angled a little bit here, but still, you guys gonna have trouble penetrating tier 8s in this tank. So here we just track him because we could do nothing else, so our friends can feast on him. Yeah, so at tier 8, this tank is going to be a problem, and it was a problem for me. That's why I would prefer Tiger 131, to be honest, with much higher penetration values. Okay, so let's now skip to the feature game of the evening. It is a tier 6 game. We are the top tier in this matchup, which is fantastic. There's only one artillery. Now, honestly guys, I haven't been getting a lot of matchups, a lot of matchmaking like this. Normally this tank is a mid tier for the most part, from what I've seen, as well as bottom tier. This is really fantastic matchup for me in this game. And maybe it is not the highest damage game, guys, like I mentioned to you earlier, but the partnership I had with the light tank in this game is absolutely fantastic, and you'll see what happens later on in the game. So we all thrive for close games, for good games like this, and this is just like that, one of those games. I tried to get an ace tanker in this tank, and I played about, I don't know, at least I would say 30 games in this tank. I don't want to lie, I think it's about 30. I got bunch of mastery class 1s, but I could not hit that 3k threshold. I think it would take 3k damage in order to get mastery ace tanker in this tank. Unfortunately, I didn't get luck with the teams, and that's the way it works out sometimes, you know. But who knows, maybe at some point in time I'll get an ace tanker in this, we'll see. But I'm a bit underwhelmed with performance of this tank. I thought it would be better. I do love Tigers. Tigers are my cup of tea. I have 2-marked my Tiger 1 already, and I don't actually know what I'm waiting for. I should probably 3-mark it by now, but I have so many tanks that I play, so no time really to 3-mark, and that's not my priority. I play mostly for fun. I do get, you know, competitive when I play sometimes, and upset on occasion, but it's still a game, guys, so you gotta treat it as the game. So anyway, so this guy started to YOLO around here, and we put a couple of shells into him. He decided to drop right now, and I like the fact that most of our team came to this side of the field. This is the important part of the field. For normally when your team wins the north side, or the northeast I shall say, or northwest I shall say, then you have control over the game, because obviously you have control over the map. But as you can see, the game is relatively close. We're actually losing this game. We lost 4 tanks, the opposition lost 2 tanks. Now I came all the way around here just to find that there is nobody else to shoot at. Well, not yet anyway. So we see this medium tank, he dropped, so we put a shell into him. He actually hits us once as well, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And again, you can see me, I'm using APCR rounds. Again, I don't know, it's not only the penetration, but it seems to me that those AP rounds in this tank are kind of derpy. They drop, they're not as accurate, so I still prefer using APCR rounds for that reason, plus the shell velocity. I do love shell velocity of these shells, and obviously the penetration. So we fail to kill this KV-1S. We're gonna try to do this again. We need to clear this side of the field before we can move any further. And usually the mistake that my team makes in this situation, once you win the field, our team starts running down the A line. But the problem is, once you start running down the A line, you get yourself exposed in the open field, and tanks that are across on the other side of the field have shots at you. So I would strongly recommend not to cross the open field on this map. So what I usually do once I get to this position here, let's see if you can put a shell into him. Unfortunately, he stops just when I fired. But when I get myself here, I usually check the situation on the map to see what's going on. And if the other flank falls, I usually fall back. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. So as you can see, that medium tank at A4, he's going to go forward and commit suicide, because basically that's what happens there. Well, not always. If there are no tank destroyers sitting at like F0, then it is possible to scoop down to the bottom and to the cap area. But for the most part, guys, on this map, there are usually destroyers sitting in that area. So I would strongly recommend that you not do that. It's better to work your way through the middle of this map here, in between the buildings, get closer to the point where you can actually start taking shots, and that's probably a better approach for you on this map. So we're still losing this game, but we see this VK3601, so we want to take him out of the game. We're going to approach him from the side. We're just waiting so that he's not paying attention, and now we're just going to poke over, get closer, auto aim. Yeah, I shouldn't probably auto aim here, should probably just fully aim, but because my APCR rounds are loaded, I know I can go through him, so no problem, and unfortunately we don't get the kill. The medium tank steals it from us. So, wow, we did, you know, a bit of cleaning here. I mean, we don't have a lot of damage because we didn't have too many customers we can shoot at, but looks like our team is just falling apart, and that's usually what happens on lower tier games. So it is to, you know, be expected. But sometimes, I gotta tell you, sometimes games at lower tiers are better than at higher tiers. I mean, sometimes you get into the games where there are better players at lower tiers than at higher tiers. And lately, that is specifically the truth, because lately playing at tier 10 is a freaking disaster, to be honest. I just played in my Putton, and I haven't played in it for a long time. Jumped into a few tier 10 games, and it was a freaking, oh man, I don't even want to say. So, like I said, sometimes players at lower tiers are better. Maybe players are bored of high tier games and they drop into lower tier games. Anyway, so we wanted to take out this medium tank here because he would be spotting us in this area for whatever tank destroyers are still sitting on a zero line. So that was the idea here. I wanted to drop in, get him out of the game. When you get the spotter out of the game, then it's easier. Now, unfortunately, it's only me, light tank, and an artillery versus 3 of the opposition tanks plus the artillery. So we're trying to poke out to see if we have shots at this light tank. All of a sudden, the medium tank, easy 8, full health. He's, you know, basically rammed us. So I'm switching quickly to my APCR rounds. I really want to make sure I start penetrating this guy. So I push him off. I should have probably pushed him upside down here, but I didn't. But we're going to bully him. We're going to push him. We're going to try to break his track so he can maybe miss a couple of shots here and there. And he does here. We break his track. We're going to push him again, and we take him out of the game. Complete bully, guys. We completely bullied him around here. And unfortunately, you know, I had to do that because he would have taken me out of the game. And if he did, then this game would be a loss. Although, you know what? Our light tank player is a fantastic player. I think he could have actually carried here on by himself. So now, this is what I'm going to talk to you guys about. This is absolutely fantastic. Look at him. He stopped here. He's basically waiting for me to give him a signal or something as to what I'm going to do. He's waiting for me. So I'm basically telling him, I want to go through the east side because I don't know what's going on in the middle here. I'm thinking that the tank destroyer is sitting on the east side. That's why I was saying, let's go through the east side. Then he can spot for me. I said, you know, I need a target. If you can go over there and spot for me, then, you know, I can have some shots. If there's a tank destroyer there, I might remain unspotted. He can spot for me and we'll go from there. So we're starting to cut across the field over here. And all of a sudden, we're going to get spotted. I'm like, whoops. The tank destroyer is in the middle of the map, and he is full health, man. Completely full health. That's not a good sign for us. Not a very good sign for us. So I'm trying to kind of poke out quickly, see if he is already aimed at us, whether he's gonna take a shot or not, and see if we can spot him. So there we go, we spot him. He puts a shell into us. We try to aim quickly, but unfortunately we can't hit that cupola from this distance that accurately. So we're gonna drop behind the building and look at what our light tank does. Now guys, this is a perfect example how to partner at the end of the match. Look at him. He's gonna go and he's gonna distract him, so I can get myself out of bad position and get myself into the cover. So he went right around the tank destroyer. The tank destroyer didn't expect him to come from this side, so he put 4 shells into him, emptied the entire clip into him, and that gave me opportunity to scoot up here and hide underneath this hill. Now at this point in time, I'm not sure which way the tank destroyer is gonna go. That's why I'm heading to the right. But now I see the tank destroyer is actually heading to the right, so I'm gonna change my direction and I'm gonna go to the left. Last thing I want is the 88 to pay attention to me, because I'm only on 1 shot to him, so he cannot be paying attention to me, and hopefully a light tank can distract him so that the tank destroyer can pay attention to our light tank instead of me. So basically here I'm telling him I want him to stay there and I'm coming from this side. That's basically what I said, and that's exactly the plan here. I want to try to climb up. Now this power to weight ratio not the best on this tank, as you can see. It's taking me a while to get up this hill, but he understands, so he communicates with me. That's fantastic. I know he's talking to me. I told him I need a target. He again confirms, so he's gonna try to spot for me, and he goes up and he does spot the 88, and hopefully 88 is looking at him, and he completely does not expect me to come from this side. I'm pretty sure he doesn't, because we're a ninja trying to be stealthy. Stealthy tiger. So we're gonna try to play it safe. We're gonna come around here. Now he disappears from the radar, so I don't want to poke out and be spotted first, so I'm asking my light tank to spot him again. But for whatever reason, and that's one thing that I'm not sure why the light tank decided to come from this side. Maybe because 88 was paying attention to him, so he decided to come from this side. But at the same time, it basically got the 88 to start turning towards me, so unfortunately I fluffed my shot over there. But my light tank is gonna engage him again now. He's gonna go way behind him there. He puts 1 shell into him. It turns 88 around, and all I have to do now is come around here and finish him off. And yes, we finish him off. What a fantastic teamwork, guys. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic teamwork. I already say good game because I know it's done. Only low tier artillery left in the game, and for whatever reason artillery wasn't shooting at us, so I'm not sure what was going on there. Probably not the best artillery player, because if it was, he would be sitting much closer to this engagement and trying to take me, at least me, out of the game, if not the light tank. So I tell the light tank again, fantastic game, man. Without you, probably this wouldn't be possible. So yeah, I really admire this. I don't see players like this in tier 10. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's selfishness or if it's just I have no idea. Lack of awareness. I don't know. Players at tier 10 that play like this are hard to find, unless you platoon with guys that you actually know that can play to that level, and you can kind of communicate, give yourself instructions as to what you want each other to do, right? In this situation, when I wasn't on a comm and this guy was just kind of feeding off of me, it's just like without any talking or anything, it was fantastic teamwork. So here I'm just sitting waiting for him to spot. Once he spots the artillery, there's no point for me to go down there. I was thinking the artillery is sitting more in the corner, but it's sitting right on the A lane, so the light tank takes him out, and I say good game again. He confirms. Fantastic. Again, guys, high damage games are awesome, but I really enjoy games like this, man. I mean, they make me come back to this game every time. especially when I run into some players that really have an understanding of the game. Look at that. We topped the board, both of us, with 6 kills. He had 2.5k damage. I had over 2,000 damage, almost 2.1k. So I decided to send him a message because I really admired how he worked with me here in this game. I rarely see it, like I tell you guys. Not too many people do this kind of stuff. It's hard to find good teammates nowadays. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoy this mini run and this mini review. It really came out of nowhere. It's just because I just purchased this tank for my son and I thought I would do a quick review for you guys. I hope it was informative. Anyway, that's it for today. Go check out Clone72 and Got a Dingy. Links to their channels are in the description section below. That's it for today. Happy tanking. Until next time, Space Bandit checking out.